Hi everyone, it's Brittany, and today I am going to be sharing a client experience with you. Um, and this is actually a topic that I'm pretty sure I have never spoken about in a video, so this is going to be fun. Now, I'm just going to get right into it. This client that I was working with actually came to me for an SP situation. This is not about an SP at all, though, but I'm mentioning it because it kind of ties together. So, um, we had been working together for a little while about her SP, and during one of our sessions, she came on the call and she said, I'm really not doing well today. I'm really upset and I'm frustrated. And so I was thinking she was going to say something about SP, and it wasn't. It was the fact that um, she has a very important necklace that her grandmother had given to her. And it is a necklace that she wears everywhere. She wears it all the time. The only time she ever takes it off is when she goes to sleep. So she had actually mentioned to me before that her grandma had passed away, and that was somebody that was really, really important and special to her in her life. And we just kind of talked about how that experience was for her, and she was starting to see that it was affecting her in other areas of her life. So in any case, when we started talking about this, she was kind of panicking, and she said, I went swimming, which is something that she does all the time. She goes to she has like a local indoor pool near her, and she goes in and swims every day. And she was like, I went to go swimming like I always do. I came home, showered, ate my dinner, did all the normal things that I do, same things that I do every single evening. And she's like, as I was getting ready to go to bed, I went to take off my rings and my necklace, and my necklace wasn't there. It was gone. And she was just like, I am so mad at myself. I can't believe I would have lost it. I called the pool. They said that they haven't seen it. Nobody has turned it in. That's really the only place I could think to look for it. And she's just like, I just don't know what to do. I'm really just so upset. And so I said, okay. First of all, it's okay. I understand. I understand why you feel that way. It was very important to you, and now you feel like you've lost that. And she said, it's not even that. It's not just the fact that I lost my necklace. And so I just stopped and I let her tell me how she was feeling. And she basically said, I've lost my grandmother. Now I've lost the necklace that she gave me. I've lost my SP, and I lose everyone that I care about. And I said, okay, tell me more. Tell me more. And she was like, well, that's just a theme for me. It's like, as soon as somebody starts to become important to me, I lose them in some way, whether it be they just completely stop talking to me, whether it be that they tell me that this isn't working, this relationship isn't working. A lot of times it just seems like out of nowhere though. And she's like, I'm really getting tired of this. I'm really getting tired of living my life feeling like I can't even be happy. I can't even enjoy the happiness that I feel when I do feel it, because if I spend too much time feeling safe, something's going to go away. And so I said, okay, let's talk about this, because it's very obvious why you're having these kinds of experiences. And so before I even started to talk to her about how to shift this, I wanted her to know that it is an illusion to believe that you can ever lose anyone or anything. And she was definitely kind of confused about that, but she said, okay, explain to me. So I explained it to her that not only can you never lose anyone or anything, it's impossible for you to lose, period. Loss is not real. Now, I get it. To our human self, it is very real. It's a very real experience. But if you understand who you are, and you know that everything is coming from within you, it is all you. It's not possible to lose something that can't ever go anywhere. If it all exists within, where could it possibly go? Now, yes, you can have these experiences which make it appear that you have lost something, but in truth, nothing can ever go anywhere. Where would it go? You're experiencing your own personal world. So it's not an objective world where things can just slip away and disappear into, the void. That's not what's going on here. This is an experience where everything that could ever exist or will ever exist in your experience exists within. And so if you are buying into this idea that, number one, not only that it's possible to lose someone or something, but number two, that that's your experience, well, then, yeah, that's exactly the way that you're going to be experiencing your life. But if you come back and realize that I can't ever lose anything, therefore, this necklace is not lost, it's here, it's with me. It's a part of me, simply a form of myself in the way that I define myself, then you understand that it can't go anywhere. And so she did feel calmer when I explained this to her, and she was happy to hear that. But she still was like, okay, but that doesn't change the fact that my necklace isn't here. And so I said, okay, but remember, there is no objective thing that is here or not here. It's all in your perception. So you have to shift that and again, recognize that it never went anywhere and it's always been with you. And so she started playing around with this. And while she was telling herself that she loves how she gets to wear her grandma's necklace every single day, it just calms her down and brings her so much peace and happiness in her everyday life. What ended up happening was that her SP reached out to her. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of information, not too much, because this is not about an SP, but he reached out to her, and what was going on with her is that what she said was he ghosted her. And this was like a thing that she's experienced with lots of different people in her life, including friends and, like other relationships, not just romantic relationships. So that was talked about in this conversation as well, where I said, even the situation with SP, he's not gone. It's you buying into the idea that he's gone and he's nowhere to be found. But he's here. He's here. If you're aware of him, he is here. So you just have to shift that story. And so while she was playing around with the necklace and the fact that it's still with her, and just in general, playing around with the idea that nobody can ever leave because everyone exists within me, her SP reached out to her. Number one, he asked her to get together for coffee because he said that he felt like on his part wasn't doing enough to keep the relationship going. And again, they're not in a committed relationship at this point, but, they're dating. So that happened and she was really happy about that. And she was like, oh my God, I wasn't even focused on that. And I said, you know by watching my videos, this is not what it is. It's not about focusing on the specific thing. It's about choosing to shift to a different perspective where you understand that in this example, you cannot lose anyone or anything. So another thing that happened is that one of her friends that she hadn't spoken to in over 3.5 years, guys, 3.5 years, where she had not heard a word from this woman, reached out to her and asked her if she would be willing to get together and meet up. And she wanted to talk to her about her disappearance, as this woman said to her. So she was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. I didn't realize this story that I was just telling myself over and over again that was causing these people and these things in my life that were, deemed important to me to just kind of drift off. And she was like, wow, I'm so shocked by this. Then this is the best part. Well, I mean, this is the exciting part for me. She got invited by this girl, by the way, the one that she hadn't spoken to in over 3.5 years, to go on a little girls trip. Now, going to try to keep this as short as possible. There was this place that they used to go every single year together on a trip. It was like a little like cabin, lake house type place that was not theirs or anything, but they would always rent that one. And her friend knew the people that rent the house. So she was always able to get in and get the house to rent. So she asked her if she would want to go do that. And my client was like, yeah, I would love to do that. And she was really happy. She was getting excited. She was like, I'm so happy that I get to spend some time with her. Like, we get to catch up on things. There's so much that has changed in both of our lives. And I'm just so, so happy. And she was like, so I went into my closet to get my like trip bag that I always use. And she was like, I went to get the bag and something fell out of it. And when I reached down to go grab it, and she was like, I honestly thought it was just like a piece of trash. It was my necklace that my grandmother gave to me. And I was like, oh my God, I told you it wasn't lost. But she's like, no, Brittany, you're not understanding. I don't use this bag. I haven't used this bag since last year, the last trip that I went on. And she was like, I do usually take 2 trips a year, but I just hadn't been able to this year because I had a lot going on at work. And so I haven't touched this bag in like 10 months. So how could it have possibly gotten there? And by the way, my client lives by herself. She doesn't have any pets. She was going into all of this. Like, I was thinking every possibility. And I'm like, or you could just realize that you are so powerful, that this is the way that it was being presented to you, because you recognize that it wasn't lost. And so because you were going on this trip, it had to show up in some way for you to see it. And she was like, yeah, that does make sense, because honestly, I'd given up on finding it. I'd given up on finding it and like reaching out to different places and like looking and searching. And she was like, I don't know where else it would have been, to be honest. But the fact that it was in this bag, it just still is boggling my mind. And I said, well, of course it is. Your mind's never going to be on board with this. Your mind's never going to understand it. But who cares? You have it and you never lost it. That's the important thing. It was never lost. You were just hiding it from your 5 senses by insisting that it wasn't here, by insisting that it was lost. And the same exact thing with your SP, the same exact thing with your girlfriend that you are now going on a trip with. You know, like, it was all in your perception. And remember, I say this to you guys, but your 5 senses can only perceive what you are first aware of, not the other way around. So if you're in the awareness of things always leave, people always leave, I'm in this place where I'm scared of losing, well, that's just going to be perpetuated in your experience. But when you realize that actually it's not possible for me to lose anything, I am all things, where would it possibly go? That idea of loss kind of just can't stand on its own anymore, because you're realizing the truth. And so she was just so shocked that she didn't have to do much in terms of like changing the story. But I said, that's how it works. You don't have to forcefully choose something new to tell yourself. And I think a lot of you guys want to hear this, because, you know, I have people all the time asking me, if I don't change my story about this, if I don't choose a very specific story. Well, here's the thing. That insistence that this story is real and true is the only thing that's keeping it relevant and alive. The moment you recognize that it isn't real and it isn't true, your true nature can shine through. Your desire of what you would prefer to experience can be presented to you, because you're no longer giving energy to this illusion, to this idea that this is what's true, and you're recognizing that it isn't true. What's left? You, who you really are, your true self. So you don't have to choose a new story. You just have to drop the old one. You just have to stop insisting that it's this way and only this way. In her case, she just had to stop insisting that things were lost, people were leaving her, that was a possibility, that was her experience. She had to drop that. And she did. And she did enjoy imagining herself wearing her grandmother's necklace again. But she wasn't talking about her SP. She didn't make up a new story about her SP. She definitely didn't create a new story about this girlfriend that had left her life 3.5 years ago. She didn't do anything with that. So how was that able to come in? Well, she stopped buying into this idea that it's possible to lose in any way. And that's exactly how it came about. So I just wanted to share this story with you guys because I think we get very, very overwhelmed and like laser focused on the specific thing that it is that we want. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with focusing on what you want to enjoy. But remember, it's not so much about that. It's about who you are, who you're being, who you are defining yourself as. And if you're defining yourself as somebody that people keep leaving and she has no idea why, and she keeps losing things that are important to her, then that's all that can continue to happen. Whether or not she specifies that it's a grandmother, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a coworker, a necklace, she didn't have to specify those things in order for them to appear lost or gone. But she had that story going on. So that's really all that it is, guys. You don't have to focus on the specific thing so much. Just choose to define yourself in the way that you want to live your life experiences. And everything that will fall under that will be expressed. It will be experienced because it's you. It's all just you. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this quick little story from my client. Thank you so much for allowing me to share it. I think she's still really, really just so excited about going on her trip. And in fact, she's probably there now. So yeah, I hope she has an amazing time. I know she will. But yeah, guys, I really just wanted to share this with you because I think it's important, and it's just something that's quite subtle that I don't know, I don't feel most people are talking about. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for you. I'm sure that it will be for at least one of you. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for joining the membership channel. I posted my first Q&A video, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I will be posting my next video on that membership channel, which is going to be all about separation. So I'm going to talk about how there is absolutely no separation between you and this 3D world. There's no separation whatsoever between you and anything and everything that you want to experience. It's all one. So I'm going to talk about that on the membership channel. I will for sure talk about it more on this channel as well, but right now I'm just dedicating that video to the membership channel because it's going to be quite a deep, probably long conversation that we're going to have. So if you're interested, you can find the link to the membership, I think, in my description box. If not, just write something in the comments and I'll go ahead and post it. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day. I love you all so, so much, and I will see you soon.